What is up, everyone? All Barcelona fans and football fans, back again with another episode of Barça Daily Weekly. And today, this episode is possibly not going to be as long as no episodes, but I will be talking about a few things. Mainly a couple of things that happened last week or so, and some of the results and other things like that. Also, a couple of Champions League results, maybe. I'll be mentioning quick, but let's start off with the last week in our, or maybe not really last weekend, but on Monday, this yeah, that annoying and very dumb draw against Girona, which just saw us not being able to fully go 15 points ahead of Real Madrid and only go 13 points, but it was just lackluster, lethargic. It wasn't really anything, really. It was just the players looked slow and uninspired, really. It was just, I don't know what to really make of it. It was not the best performance that we could have put up. We had some decent chances, yes, we had plenty, but we couldn't really make anything out of it. We were close a few times, but really none of the players really brought that extra going forward to really finally get that goal. It just didn't happen. Luckily, we weren't playing against a super offensive team, so on the other side, there wasn't any danger that much for us to concede either. But still, it's just we could have taken a good opportunity there, and we kind of fumbled it. And now this week, today, in just a little bit more than an hour, we have a game now against Getafe, which is gonna be also a tough game because it's away. Getafe away is never easy, and it's always has something. So hopefully we can make something out of this. Like, we need to keep winning. We need to start winning these games. Now we won't be able to end the league versus Espanyol. We won't be able to win it versus Espanyol, but still, we can definitely get this done as soon as possible. If we just keep winning by the middle of May, somewhat there, we can still get it done. But we just have to keep going. We just have to keep going and really pick ourselves back up. And the lineup is also out, and it's pretty much somewhat what the expected lineup is. And it's like normal stuff, there's nothing much when you talk about. You can check it out. There's no major surprises in there. It's what we can kind of do. But hopefully there's enough there that we can get some result tonight, because Real Madrid won yesterday. They won against Cadiz. Cadiz really didn't do much, so I was really hoping that they could have possibly get at least a draw out of that, but that didn't happen. So we have to really get this done tonight so we can go back and being 13 points ahead of them. Otherwise, right now we're just 10 points ahead. So win tonight is an absolute must. We cannot afford to lose, dropping more points. It's not gonna be good if we keep doing that. Otherwise, we're moving on now to some but I should say that there is some changes in the lineup. Of course, there's some changes from last week. There's some interesting tweaks, I should say, but overall, it's nothing too surprising. He has moved around some players, but it is really what it is. I can put it up right here, possibly, or leave a below, but it's overall, it's not the most craziest of things, but what you do. Sorry, just cut off a little bit, but it's like Balde at right back and Kessier going into midfield. Balde is usually a left back, but he's put him at right back now. He's trying that out. we'll see how that works. Jordi Alba as well is now a left back. Usually that's his own position, but he's put him there instead now. And I'm Gavi up front with Rafinha and Lewandowski, and in the midfield, of course, we have it's Busquets and Busquets, Kessie, and I believe Mastroberto or somebody like that. I don't know, but it's like, yeah, it's not too much of a tweak, but it's somewhat more of a little bit of a change. Interesting. We'll see how it works out. But moving on now to some of the interesting news that have been coming out before we go into some of the midweek results. First off, some of the transfer stuff. There's getting more and more closer to an agreement with Gundogan. That thing has been advancing. There is talk. Nothing is finished yet, but it's getting closer and closer to being a done deal for Gundogan to join Barcelona this summer, which I believe will be a good transfer for us. I believe he can definitely bring something to the midfield. He can definitely bring experience and good feeling there and control to the midfield. He's a very good player, so I believe Gundogan will be a good addition to the midfield overall, definitely. I already know from before that Martinez is done. He's already that's pretty much all fully agreed and set. So he will be also the first people to join from Athletic Bilbao. And of course, with the Messi stuff, there's more and more talks going forward, and more confirmations and more stuff. And there's some reports also recently now said that Messi has officially decided, like he will be joining Barcelona. So it's going more and more, looking more and more likely, and it's come down to the economic stuff and all that things. When they do finally try to agree a deal to him or send a deal over, Barcelona has been speaking with La Liga and all that stuff to set something up. La Liga agree with most of this stuff, but there's still some tweaks to be done, I believe, according to some reports. So we'll see what happens over with that, but hopefully it can go over the line. Hopefully we can have Messi back, which will be absolutely incredible and such a great feeling to have him back in the club next season. It will help us out a lot as well, looking forward and going full force for that European trophy, for the Champions League or whatever. He will be a big boost for us in that regard. But also just overall with the feeling just of the club and all that, having a just club legend back like that, it's gonna be absolutely great. The best player in the world, pretty much. So it's just, yeah. Then we have there's some possibly bad news regarding Victor Roque, who's also a transfer target for us. There's some economic problems that have stopped the deal with that, but I don't know how 100% true that is, so how reliable those sources are. Personally, I don't trust them entirely, because I don't think that we will just be stopping it like that, because he's someone we have been trying to go for and we're trying to see possibly with, and he really wants to join as well. So I believe there's still not over. That's still not that situation is still not fully done. There's more to come in that. I think there's still possibilities for us to get him, and I believe that we will. So we'll see how that pans out. But other than that, there's nothing entirely so much more. There's some small stuff here and there on which maybe some players we could be bringing in or not, and who will be leaving Barcelona in the summer. There's also these rumors about either Rafinha, Fati, Ferran Torres, or like even some discussions between the Intersport director, like Eurosport, if coming over to Barcelona, they were discussing some swap or something like some between Brozovic and Kessie and Alba and all that stuff. But I don't know if that even leads to something, or if it was anything concrete or not. But that's at least some of the things that have been happening during the week. And then, of course, now to some of the Champions League results from last week, from this week, that we saw Manchester City absolutely just decimate Bayern Munich with 3-0. They took a dominant grasp of that um, of advancement now over Bayern Munich. Going to the second leg, it will be very tough for Bayern to turn that around, even though they are playing at home. It still will be very tough. Bayern had some good chances. Don't get me wrong, they did try to do something. They did have some decent chances to score, but they couldn't really materialize those. They couldn't really finish those off, and but like Manchester City just took over completely. Erling Haaland, of course, scoring his a goal there and getting finally getting that first victory over Bayern Munich. He has played against them multiple times when he played for Dortmund, but he never was able to win a game with Dortmund against them. Now finally he has, and yeah, it's looking good for Manchester City in the Champions League. Over at the Premier League as well, there's also maybe not, like they won yesterday against Leicester City. Now today Arsenal they're playing right now. They're leading 1-0. They just scored, so they're leading 1-0, possibly, I believe. So we'll see how that happens. Arsenal can pull away once more, but one slip up from either team can really change everything, you know. So it's very tight there in the Premier League race. On the other hand, though, Chelsea are having a very tough time, even though now after sacking Thomas Tuchel, no, Thomas Tuchel, I'm getting tired. Thomas Tuchel, yeah, he has a tough time now in Bayern Munich, but I mean, even though after sacking Graham Potter, should I rather say, they're still having a time. They rehired Frank Lampard for like 2 months to take over for the last part of the season. He has not been able to do much of a change there. Has not looked that great, both in the Champions League or the Premier League. In the Champions League, they got 2-0 by Real Madrid. But not so surprisingly. So it doesn't look like they will be able to do much there. Not even in the Premier League they could do much, because yesterday they lost, I believe 2-1 to Brighton at home, and it was very much seeing display. They went up 1-0, they took the lead, but then Brighton came back and just, typical Chelsea fashion, they dropped the ball on it. They really just fumbled that result and just capitulated, and they lost the game. And Brighton deservingly won that. They really looked very strong, very good. A screamer goal from one of their newest player, a youngster. Don't remember his name right now. He's from Paraguay, but he scored an absolutely great goal, and Brighton definitely deserved that win. So they are having a lot of trouble. You can definitely say, in that sense. Other results overall, other places, I don't know much. There's not like too much to say. Like in the Champions League, that's like standard stuff. Arsenal 2-0 just scored again, but it's gonna be interesting to see though from the semifinals and see into the final who really plays there. We'll see what happens, but that's kind of the situation there. But that's pretty much that. Now moving to the final topic of the day, it's some of our injuries, Barcelona's injuries. When will some people be coming back? It looks like, according to Xavi at least, that next week some of the some people that are injured will be coming back, possibly like Pedri, like Christensen maybe, and so on. Some of them will be coming back next week, maybe even Frankie de Jong. Dembele is also unsure, maybe not, but his recovery has been not looking too great, but we'll see what happens with him. But at least some of the players could be coming back next week. Hopefully, that will be a very much great thing for us and very much great boost going to this final part of the season, and really some of these games that we need to definitely keep winning to really get it over the line and really win the title. So hopefully that is true, and hopefully that some of them will be back next week, and we can really bring all that in and really have a strong lineup more going forward with our best players. Those are some of our key players, Pedri, Christensen, Frankie de Jong, and those are some of our absolute biggest key players, and that's why we need to have them in these situations, these final parts of this final part of the season, where we can get the job done and bring the title home. So this is the last title we have to fight for now, and we are in a good position, but it's all in our own hands. As I said in my last video, we have to really just focus and get it done, and we cannot be putting up performances or displays like versus Girona or like the game against Real Madrid. We cannot be doing that. We have to play very strongly. We have to focus and be ready to do whatever it takes really on that pitch. Those players really need to be focused and ready. So, but I believe in the team. I believe that we can definitely do it, and that we can really get it done. Because I know we have the quality, and if some of our injured player come back, I definitely think that we can get that done in the end, and and we can bring that La Liga title home. But that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, leave a like down below, and also subscribe if you've not done that already, and ring that notification bell to get notified next time I upload videos like this, which is probably every week, hopefully, and sometimes in mid. And like sometimes I do post-match reviews or something like that. But at least once a week you'll be getting a video like this. So but that's gonna do it. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, Barça. Let's get it done tonight.